Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of Showcase on Dark Souls 3. Now, this bow is too big. I mean, look at the size of the damn thing, it's bigger than my character. I think I'm taller than the average Asian, which I think this bow draws inspiration from. I'm not too sure. It's huge. A bit too huge for my liking. Anyway, it is the Onislayer Greatbow. Now, Oni, I think it means demon in Japanese, and is a great bow. Is it great? Well, only one way to find out. But the description reads, a unique great bow handed down in an eastern land. I wonder where tales are told of you slaying giant horned Oni. Okay, horned or not, demon doesn't matter. Drawing the bow of this size takes time and leaves the user vulnerable. Only specialized great arrows can be fired from the bow. That is a lie. No, you don't need those great arrows. I didn't use those great arrows. Anyhow, the skill is the puncturing arrow. Masterfully fire off a great arrow that pierces through all enemies in pass, inflicting damage. So we'll try that on some enemies. I'll also try it on a shield since it kind of gives the same idea. Well, otherwise we'll assume it has punch through. If it adds damage, well, we'll find out. Anyhow, visually, well, it doesn't really. I looked over some Japanese bow and arrows and other bow and arrows, but I didn't really see anything that really darts out as close to visually similar. Certainly no bows get to this size, because, you know, it gets to that point where you can't draw the string anymore and actually deliver the firepower or the draw strength needed to launch the arrow. So yeah, it's just huge. But moving on. Going on to the stats for the Onislayer Greatbow. Well, physically, we got pretty decent physical damage. Well, this is Greatbow, so it's slower. So we got 111. Plus, almost half that. Or actually, no, it's roughly half that in bonus damage. Yeah. Alright, so pretty decent. And for the range. Well, the range sits at 63. We'll might as well say this bow has the longest range of any other bows, because the Greatbows go much further. For the attribute bonus, you get E and C. E for strength, C for dexterity. Trip requirements need 18 strength, 24 dexterity, which is a bit hefty, but not too bad. And a puncturing arrow. Takes 17 regardless which arrow you use, and the weight of the weapon is 7.5, which is very hefty for a bow. But that's kind of the idea for a great bow. Okay, for the few animations, we can see that firing it and aiming it, or loading I should say, takes quite a bit of time. Kind of like a whole crossbow, the idea of that, loading and firing, about the same amount of time. Alright, for the special move, we look at a little bit of familiar stance, and it takes even longer to aim and fire. Okay, as for range, yeah, this thing goes pretty far. As you can see there, 0 drop. Hits right on the dot. Flies like through the air rather gracefully and hits its target. Okay, aiming here at the farther range, you can see probably on my screen I see a very slight drop, maybe a few inches, if anything at all. So let's take it back even further. So I stand as far as back as I can to fire at this angle. Fire again. There we go, we got half a foot. Yeah, half a foot drop. So excellent range. When upgrading this weapon you need Twinkling Titanite. Why? I don't really know why. It's a great bow. Anyhow, Twinkling Titanites, that means only be a couple level ups. For those couple level ups, we can see that you get pretty decent damage. I won't say tremendous. The bonus goes up by 10. And the basic damage goes up by 13. That's okay. Alright, so with only a couple upgrades, I don't see any major change. Maybe the true bonus for dexterity will go up, maybe not. I don't think the strength will really change, and sure enough, if we did the final upgrade, the dexterity would go to a B. So overall, it's pretty decent damage. The bonus damage is almost identical, but the plain damage was in the first place. Alright, let's go on some performance here. We'll start off with a headshot. Just load up my Dragon Slayer ammo. There we go. Pretty good damage. Now I should mention I am using the Dragon Slayer arrows. The standard arrows. You don't need the Onislayer arrows. They're also much weaker. Okay, there I fired a special at it. So that's the 280 up 288, and that did one. Okay, that's a standard hit at 250. Alright, so we can see that it definitely does more damage. A little bit. but I'm not sure he argues is really worth it. Maybe fire him down a hall, but it's like impossible to get these guys to line up. Let's try a headshot. Oh damn. He survived that? Come on, look at that. It's a effing spear through his head. Whatever. A body shot does 402, which is plenty of damage. Now let's see, can it go through a shield? It can. Very poorly though. So I don't think it's really designed to go through shields. Now, besides fumbling my arrows, we can see that, again, it does not hit the gargoyle if he's mid-air. Stupid. And trying to fight a gargoyle with this bow might be a terrible idea. How slow it is. Damage-wise, it's okay. It's 242, but it's very slow. Almost too slow, I don't reckon, to be useful at all. Kind of how I see these bows works, you get that one shot off. Maybe you get a decent area you can sit on, but you get that one shot, and that's pretty much it. And I don't like the idea of a bow and arrow being used like that. But anyway, I think I got a headshot on the Black Knight there at 344. Let's do another body shot, but this is going to be difficult using this giant bow. Yeah, that's a problem. He's going to use that shield by the time I do load up any shots. There's a power attack at 265. And that's okay. No, it's kind of pushing it though, in my opinion. Yeah, I think I'm done fighting this guy. There's my hit. Good enough. It'll take forever otherwise. Alright, let's move on to the pros and cons of the Onislayer Greatbow. On the pros, well, it has the greatest range of all conventional projectiles in the game. And it has pretty decent damage too. Alright. My cons for this weapon. The firing and loading takes a very large amount of time. And the special could be a bit better. It didn't really add a whole lot more damage, and you try punching through multiple enemies using that slow animation and hoping they don't move. Because I couldn't get 40 footage for that. And not to mention, it's also quite heavy. So yeah, those are the pros and cons. Moving on to the score for the Onislayer Greatbow. Damage, I'll give 7 out of 10. It's powerful and all, but DPS is pretty trash. So yeah. Unless you're going to hit headshots every shot. Anyhow, the range gets a 10 out of 10. It is the greatest range of all the bows in the game, by a long shot. Alright. For the bonus, I give it a 7 out of 10. It was, in the beginning it was mediocre, but it got better as you upgrade it. In this though, I give it a 3 out of 10. Because, in terms of these great bows, it's just in a great bow in general, its weight and its slow speed. You only really get that one shot. Properly, you only get that one shot. Because after that, it's very difficult to aim and fire these. Maybe if your opponent was a boss at a great distance, sure, but otherwise I don't see a whole lot of point to these, other than being overly fancy. However, in the end, the Onislayer Greatbow gets 27 out of 40, which is exceptional. It's still a great bow. It's just all the qualities I don't want in a bow is here. So there you have it, the Onislayer Greatbow. Me and Greatbows, I don't think we'll get along. I don't particularly care for most bow and arrows, and these ones are slow and heavy. Things I don't really want in a bow and arrow. But oh well. They are still decent weapons, and I'll still review them just the same, and there aren't too many of them. But that's been Showcase for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care out there.